Hello students, welcome back to our channel. Students, in this video we are going to derive a very important formula from class 12th physics chapter ray optics, and this formula is called prism formula. This is a very important topic in ray optics, and the derivation of prism formula comes in exams and the question is of 3 to 5 marks, right? So let's start. Suppose we have a prism, right? This is a prism, and on this prism suppose a light ray comes like this, and let us say that the surrounding medium is air. So when the ray goes from rarer to denser medium, we all know that the ray bends towards the normal, and this prism is made up of glass, and glass is optically denser than the air. So here the bending, now let us say this is the normal. So then bending will take place towards the normal like this, because this would have been the actual path of the ray if there was no lens, right? And let's make normal from some other color so that it distinguishes itself from the rays. So this is the normal, right? And this was the actual path of the ray, and from this actual path this ray bends towards the normal like this. So this is the path of the ray inside the lens. Now again a surface comes, so refraction will take place on this surface also. Now this is glass, so now the light is going from denser to rarer medium, and when it goes from denser to rarer medium, bending will be away from the normal. So here it is the normal at this surface, and the bending will be away from bending will be away from normal, so like this, right? So this is the path of the ray after coming out of the prism. This is going to be the path of the ray when it comes out of the prism. So if I extend this path like this, so we call this angle is called, this particular angle is called, it is represented by the symbol delta, and it is called angle of deviation. It is called angle of this delta is called angle of deviation. Angle of deviation. Why? Because the ray was coming along this path, right? And due to the presence of prism, the final path of the ray was this. So what is the total bending that occurs in the path of the ray due to the presence of the prism, right? So delta is the total bending which occurs in the path of the ray due to the presence of prism. So this is called the angle of deviation. Now let us say the angle of prism is A, and let us mark other things also. This is obviously the angle of incidence, and this one is the angle of refraction. So let's call it R. And if the ray was coming from this side, then obviously this would have been the angle of incidence. So let's take it as I2, and we will take it as I1, take it as R1, and this is R2, right? Okay. Now mark these points also. Let us say this point is suppose M, this point is N, this point is O, this point is P. So now let's start the derivation. So delta is what? Delta is simply, we know that the exterior angle of a triangle is the sum of two opposite interior angles. So delta is the exterior angle in the triangle MNP, right? Delta is the exterior angle in the triangle MNP. So what are the opposite to interior angles? So delta is the sum of angle MNP. Delta is the sum of angle MNP plus angle MPN. Angle MPN. Okay. Since vertically opposite angles are equal. Vertically opposite angles are equal. So these angles are equal, right? These angles are equal. So we can say that this particular angle is I1 minus R1. So we can say this is I1 minus R1, and you can clearly see that this angle MPN is I2 minus R2. I2 minus R2. So delta is I1 plus I2 minus R1 plus R2. Delta is I1 plus I2 minus R1 plus R2. Clear? Okay. Now let us take this as 1. Now in quadrilateral, look carefully, in quadrilateral ANOP, in quadrilateral ANOP, these two angles ANO and APO, sum of these two angles is 180 degree because both of them are 90. So obviously then the sum of other two angles will also be 180 degree. Angle A plus O, angle in quadrilateral ANOP, A plus O is 180 degree. A plus O is 180 degree, and in triangle NPO, in triangle NPO, R1 plus R2, R1 plus R2 plus O is also 180 degree, or 180 degree is also A plus O. So in place of this 180 degree, in place of this 180 degree, we can write A plus O. In place of this 180 degree, we can write A plus O. So this O gets cancelled. So we can say that the value of A is R1 plus R2. Value of A is R1 plus R2. Right? Okay. Now if we put this value in 1, so we get delta equal to I1 plus I2 minus A. Delta equal to, therefore delta becomes I1 plus I2 minus A. Since refractive index of the prism is sin I1 by sin R1, or I1 by R1, because let us assume that these angles I1, R1, I2, R2, these angles are very small, and for small angles sin theta is nearly equal to theta, right? The value of sin 1 degree and the value of 1 degree in radians, both will have the same value. So we can say that this is approximately equal to this, which gives us the value of I1 as mu R1. Similarly, if we take from the other side, we can say the value of R2 is mu R2. Now if we put these values here, so delta becomes I1 plus I2. In place of I1 plus I2, put mu R1 plus mu R2 minus A, and mu is common, R1 plus R2 minus A, and again put the value of R1 plus R2, and the value of R1 plus R2 was A. So put A in place of this. So mu A minus A. So delta is, take A common, delta is mu minus 1. This is not the prism formula. So we have arrived we have not arrived at a final formula, so we will continue from this. So delta is A into mu minus 1. So what is Prism formula? Why I have stopped here? Because this is also a very important result. So let's put this in a box. This is also a very important result, but we are not going to discuss the importance of this, because this video is specially for what? For Prism formula. I was about to say Lensmaker's formula, but that was the other video. Okay, so now let's take this. Now let's take this. Do one thing. This we can remove these parts also, because this was just to derive this important result, which is not a part of Lensmaker's formula, but I have derived this result just because of your understanding that this result is also very important, and this result is also asked many times in the exam, right? This is the relation between the angle of refractive angle of the prism and refractive index of the prism and angle of deviation. So you can derive this relation also, but now let's come to the Prism formula. So if we write it like this, if we write it like this, I1 can be written as under root I1 ka square and I2 can be written as under root I2 ka square minus A, right? You're getting my point? This part was just, or this whole part was just to derive this one, but for Prism formula, from this you can directly go to this step. Okay, if in this we add 2 under root I1 I2 subtract 2 under root I1 I2, because we can add or subtract same thing, that won't make any difference. So delta is a square plus b square minus 2ab. These three terms, this and this, these three terms will give us under root I1 minus under root I2 whole square plus 2 under root I1 I2 minus a, right? And clearly, if we want to see the minimum value of delta, minimum value of delta is when any square term is 0, right? Because the minimum value of square is always 0. So this will be minimum because these two are fixed and this is fixed. So this will be minimum only when this has a minimum value and the square has minimum value 0, because square cannot be negative. So delta is minimum when under root I1 minus under root I2 का square is 0, or under root I1 minus under root I2 is 0, or under root I1 equal to under root I2, or I1 equal to I2. So this is a very important result, that angle of deviation has a minimum value when these two angles are equal. This angle is generally called the angle of emergence. Now if you change I1, I2 will also change and delta will also change. So we have arrived at a very important result. Then out of all the deltas that you will get by changing the value of I1 and I2, the minimum value of delta is when I1 and I2 are equal. That is when angle of incidence and angle of emergence are equal. So if these are equal, let us say these are equal to I, right? Let us say these are equal to I, right? Okay. And if I1 and I2 are equal, then obviously R1 and R2 will also be equal. Therefore, R1 is equal to R2, and let us say they both are equal to R. Now, as we know, since, let's write it on the next page, since R1 plus R2 equal to A. So if we are considering the case of the minimum deviation, we can write R plus R equal to A or 2R equal to A which gives r equal to a by 2. And since delta was what? Delta was I1 plus I2 minus a. So if we take it as delta minimum, that means we are considering the minimum wala case. So we can write I for both I1 and I2, which give us the value of I, which is 2I is equal to delta minimum plus a. So I is delta minimum plus a divided by 2. So since we know that the refractive index of the prism is sin I by sin r, so if we put the values of I and r, these values of I and r, this one and this one, so we will get the prism formula, which is mu2 equal to sin I, which is delta m, which is delta minimum plus a divided by 2 upon sin a by 2, and this result is called prism formula. One of the most important topics in ray optics. There are other things in this topic like the graph of delta and I, but this particular video is just for the prism formula and its derivation, and we'll make a separate video to explain the graph. But when the derivation comes in exam, you are not supposed to make the graph. So we have explained the derivation part and each and every step of the derivation part. So prepare it very carefully. I'll meet you in the next lecture. Till then, all the very best.